Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on the blanket crochet cardigan. This is what this girl is wearing today. It is a one-piece unit where we're going to be making 4 different granny squares, put them together as a large square, and then the way that we fold it, we create the arms and then the neck piece that goes all the way down to the back and then back up the other side. So it's a really quite an easy pattern to be able to work on, and actually it didn't take me long. I did a full sample just to make sure that I understood today's pattern. So let's talk a little bit about what's going to be happening in today's pattern. So today's pattern has 3 different sizes: extra small to medium, large to extra large, and 3 extra large to 5 extra large. And the instructions for the different kinds of colors I do write on my patterns. I'm sorry about that. And they are all the information that you need in order to get to the size that you want. There's also a crochet diagram available. Thank you to yarnspirations.com for providing that for me. This makes it a lot easier for me to follow. And we're going to be making 4 granny squares. This is the interior. It goes out much further than this. In the instructions it tells you how big to make each square, and then you're going to put them together. So square 1, 2, 3, and 4 to create like this. Once we get that done, we're going to fold it down, and this is the opening at the bottom. So this is the fold at the top, and then we're going to mark it and then sew the edges like this, and this is your armholes that happen right here. Then what you're going to do is then you're going to open it up, and this whole circle all the way around the bottom is the actual collar and the base area of the lapel going all the way down to the back of the cardigan. So it's actually kind of a really quite an easy pattern to do. If you've never done anything like this, I would not let this pattern fool you to being harder than it really is. So really the hardest thing is more of the granny square to getting this beautiful look. I will show you what mine looks like, and of course I went outside the box and did different colors, and you can too. So at this point my project is actually done. So I actually did this sample, and then I did the collar and everything with you on camera, but the way that I learn is that I have to do samples first. So what I did is that I did my 4 just like you see. You will notice that this middle here has texture. I know you cannot see it from that particular point of view, but if you look at it from a side point of view, it looks like it's raised up a little bit. And then once we get to the granny square that you see like this, it's all just regular granny square work out until you get to the dimension that you need, which is listed on the pattern. So really what I would do if I were you and you were me is that do all the middles. There's only 4 of them, so do all the middles, so these little ones here, and then come back and then do the next layer on all 4, and then come and do the next layer on all 4, and continue that way until you get to what you need to do. So what I did is that I got all 4 done up into this white area here, and then I just did the rest of each square then from here all the way to the edge, just like you see. So really the one thing I really liked about this pattern, which it's helpful to know, is that really once you get to bigger granny squares you can get boredom, can really get in there really good. But because mine here is extra small to medium, it's only 18 inches. So I found myself, oh, I'm done already. This is awesome. So I'd go to the next one. Oh my goodness, I'm done already. So because it's not a large square and because it's broken down into 4, it doesn't feel like a project that seems like it feels like forever. And because it's broken into 4, you get 4 different layers or 4 different squares that look like this, and these kind of come out through the sleeve areas on the side that you can see within the model. So let's go back to the diagram and let's talk a little bit about that, and then I'll get you started. You'll need a 5mm size H crochet hook today. So for myself, most of you that know me well, I love crochet diagrams versus the written words because you can actually see what it looks like here and follow the instructions. So if you're new to crochet diagram reading, you'll just start off in the middle, and you see that it's got chains. Now here's the stitch key. So if you're confused at what anything is here, look to the stitch key here, and everything is marked as you see, and you just follow it in circles. So you just keep on going around. So the reason why it's not showing you the whole square if you're new to crochet diagram reading is that once you get to literally to row number, so I gotta move it in there, number 9, once you get there it's just the same thing going all the way around. It's just gonna be bigger and bigger as you go. So it's just a really quite easy thing to do. So what I'm gonna do today, this video, is that I'm gonna get you started, and I'm gonna take you here, and I'm gonna tell you to finish to the size that's listed on the pattern, and then after that we're gonna come back, we're gonna show you how to do the invisible seam join, and then I'll show you how to do the sleeve areas there, and then we're gonna show you how to do the ribbing that is the same on both the sleeve and the base of the collar area. The only difference is that the collar area is a lot thicker. So without further ado, let's grab our H size 5mm crochet hook today, and let's go. So let's begin. Just know that if you're going to do your own color scheme, just be consistent with your colors so each one looks the same, so in order to keep the balance looking good on your particular project. Start off with the slip knot. Remember that never counts as one. So go 1, 2, so chain 2, and then what I want you to do is insert this needle, or this hook, sorry, into the beginning chain, and I want you to single crochet, and it's gonna get tight in there, but just keep on going. So you're gonna do 16 single crochets into that same one. So you got 1, and it's gonna be hard to hold at first, just be patient. So 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. Still got 6 more to go. So if you're running out of space, just gotta keep moving stuff around so it all fits. So there was 10 in there. So let's do 11 and 12, 13, 14, 15, there's a lot going in there, and 16. So you got 16 in there, so all you just need to do then is just join it to the top of the beginning single crochet that you had started with. And if you're not sure, just you can either count back the number of stitches and go back to the 16th, or just if you're familiar with it, then you can identify it right away. So just slip stitch it to finish, and then what I want you to do is that color is now finished, and do the other 3 that you need to do. Okay, so just trim that and just weave in your ends just with the crochet hook. So just go in and out some of these stitches in order to keep it looking, and when keep it looking good. And then what you're going to do is that just leave that on the back end, at the back side. Let your tail stay onto the back side so it stays out of your way, and then you're good to go. If you weave it in enough times like I have, then what you can just do is that you can just trim it and get rid of it immediately and deal with your ends as you go. So do the other 3 that you need to do for the other 3 squares, and then I will see you back here in just a moment. So let's carry on forward. We're gonna move on to the next color. So we're going to create this color here into the project for this round, and you'll do all 4 the same. So go into any one of these single crochets all the way around, and it just it's nice to be able just to choose one. And what I want you to do is just attach it with the slip stitch and then chain up 4. Okay, that counts as a double crochet and chain 1. So 1, 2, 3, there's your double crochet, and 1 more is your chain 1. So into the next stitch right here, see the straggler? Lay it down on top of it, and then just double crochet right over top of it so it gets stuck underneath. So what separates these double crochets is a chain 1. So chain 1, go to the very next stitch on the round and double crochet. So it helps if you actually grab your stitches. There we go, and then chain 1 and then double crochet in the next one like so, and keep doing that all the way around for this round. I'll see you at the end. So I'm getting all the way back around, and I've just did my final double crochet, chain 1, and then attach it to the 3rd chain up of the first one here. So you need to make sure before you move forward that you can count 16 of these double crochets going all the way around. If you cannot count those, you can't move forward because your square will not be in balance. It's important. So you're now gonna fasten that color off. We're going to join another color right after this. So I'm gonna fasten off like I did before, and I'll see you back here getting ready for the next color. So let's begin the next color, and it's gonna be heather black for me, or heather kind of gray. So you have a circle right now, and you want to create an octagonal shape. There will be 8 sides on this as we go. 16 right now currently is there, and we're gonna turn it into 8. So let's begin. You're gonna go into any one of the double crochets. It doesn't matter which one you go into. It's all gonna be equal because you have 16 there. You're going to attach it with a slip stitch, and let's begin. So the first one that we're gonna do is gonna be a corner of the octagon, one of the corners at least. And so you're gonna chain 2. That counts as a half double crochet this time, and then you're gonna chain 3, which is your corner. So 1, 2 and 3. So that was a total of 5. You're gonna come back into the same one, and you're going to half double crochet, and there is your new corner like that. So what separates the corners is going to be 3 stitches of half double crochet. The first one is in the chain 1 space, so 1. Okay, the next one is into the double crochet for 2, and then third one is in the chain 1 space for 3, and then we're gonna do another corner. So the corners, every time you hit them, is going to be one half double crochet, chain 3, and 1 half double crochet. So let's just review this one more time. So moving along, there's gonna be 3 half double crochets by themselves. The first one is in the chain 1 space, the next one is in the next double crochet, and the next one's in the chain 1 space. And then you have another corner, so the corner is right in the double crochet, so half double crochet, chain 3, and half double crochet. So please do that same idea going all the way around. So I'm moving forward and I'm coming all the way back around, and I'm just almost there, and this is gonna be the last corner that I'm gonna form. Chain 3 and half double crochet back into the same one, and if you've done your math right, the final last 3 stitches will be the half double crochet. So one's in the chain 1 space as before, one's in the next double crochet, and the final one is in the last chain 1 space, and then you just join it to the second chain up to create that to keep that corner consistent. So therefore you have an 8-sided project that looks like this at this moment, and you're gonna fasten off this color just like I had before, and we're gonna begin something new after this. So let's start our next color. I'm gonna start off with a slip knot. It's just extra security for me in order for me not to be paranoid things don't fall out. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna start in any one of the chain 3 spaces, it doesn't matter which one you start on, and just go into one of them and just attach it with the slip stitch. Now you're going to chain 1 and 1 single crochet into the same one, and we want to keep this corner looking consistent. So just if you have to move it in order to keep it to one side, then do so. And what you have to do in order to keep this consistent is that you chain 1 and then you come back into the same chain space and single crochet again. So each one of these on the corners will be 1 single crochet, chain 1, 1 single crochet. To begin the next one that we have to do is that there's always going to be 5 stitches in between these corners. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're gonna make those all together as one. But before we can do that, we have to get to the center point on the top where the invisible space is. See my finger right here? We're going to get up there. So in order to get there, we have to chain 3 first. So 1, 2, 3. So we want to do 5 together, double crochets as we pick those all up. So we're just going to wrap our hook and come into the very first one, and we want to collect 5 of them in a row. So just wrap and pull through 2 and hold. Then do the next, wrap and into the next one, pull through 2 and hold, and then wrap and through, pull through 2 and hold, and keep on doing that until you get a total of 5 of those, and there will be a total of 6 loops if you include that first chain when you go to do so, and you're gonna collect all 5 of them that are sitting there like that. Okay, I'll show this to again as we go around. So we're just gonna pull through all of these stitches now, and I want you to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and go to the next chain 3 space here. So single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet all into that right there. Now we're gonna do another one just like here. So we chain 3 first. So 1, 2, and 3, and then we start collecting them. So 5 together. So we're gonna go in, and we're just gonna keep on going, nice and steady pace, no need to rush. And you're gonna collect these. Like so. So you have 6 loops now on the hook, pull through all of them, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then go to the next chain 3 space. So single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet, and I'll show you one more time. So chain 3 to begin. So 1, 2, 3, collect the next 5 with 5 together. You're gonna do this all the way around for this particular one. There's really nothing hard about this particular granny square. There's just, it's not just like a simple granny square though. So you have 6 loops on the hook, so it means they're done. Pull through 1, 2, 3, go to the next chain 3 space, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. Please do that all the way around for this round. When you get all the way back around, you're just going to do that last section here, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. You've already done this first one, so you just got to slip stitch to the first single crochet that you started with and then fasten off this color just like you had before. It's gonna look like it's buckling at this point, and this is what's creating that three-dimensional layer look when you're done. So if it's looking like it's buckled to you, do not panic. It's part of the pattern and you'll see that it will settle down really quickly as well. So fasten this off and let's start on with our next color. So let's begin our next color. So we're going to start off with the yarn on the hook. So here's the thing. The next color will go right into this space, not to this stitch here. Okay, so no matter where you are here, it will not go into this chain one space. That's more of a filler. It'll go right into here. Okay, so when we go to start, choose any one of those and go right into here, not here. Okay, so gotta go the 2 rows back, and I want you to join it with the slip stitch, and I want you then to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, going into the exact same space where I just showed you. Okay, so it's down here, and see these white layers, okay, these mauve. What I want you to do is try to focus on making sure that you kind of have those separated from each other as you go. So we want to do a total of 5 trebles in each one. The chaining 4 counts as one of them in the very beginning, and going into the same space, and I want you to treble. So make sure you wrap that hook twice in order to treble, and you're looking for the secret number of 5. The more you get in, these will separate, and these look like they're part of the characteristics of it. So if you bury them underneath this, it doesn't look as sharp as if you separate them as you're doing it, and now's the time to do it. Okay, so you want a total of 5 of them, which includes that chain 4 that we started with. Okay, so you see that there. So now what you're just gonna do is go to the top of this cluster. You'll see it right there. See where they're all coming together, and I want you just to single crochet into that spot. Okay, so let's go to the next one. So the next one is in this chain 3 space right here. Separate those mauves when you begin to do it. So just gonna do 5 trebles. Okay, it's more of a visual thing when you separate those things out, and once you honestly get used to this pattern, it happens naturally anyway, but I really want you to be conscientious of it first so that you know that what you're looking for. And you're gonna do 5 trebles into that same spot. So you can see you're covering over part of that last layer, which gives it a really unique look, right? So then once you get your 5 done, go to the top of the next cluster here and single crochet in. So please do that all the way around. So then you're going to go into here for 5 trebles, single crochet at the top, and then continue all the way around. So please do that. Now I'm coming up all the way to the end. I have this tendency that I want to keep on going because I see all this space. I did it when I was doing the sample as well. This, remember, is the 5 that are in there. You have to join this single crochet to the top of the beginning chain 4 that you started with. Okay, so it pulls it over just like that. You're gonna notice it's still buckling. Again, do not panic about that. It's all part of it. These things are gonna pop out of the work as you're going. So I want you to fasten that off, and I want you to bring on the next color, and we're gonna continue, and we're gonna translate to a square in the next revolution. So I'll see you there in just a moment. So this is when we finally start going into a square. Let's just start off with our next color and start off with a slip knot. So what we have to look for is that there's 5 trebles into each one of these corners. Okay, and what we're gonna do is that we're gonna convert one of these into a corner, the other one stays a flat edge, and the next one is a corner. So the way that we're gonna start off with is that we're gonna start off on a flat edge, then go to our first corner. So we're not gonna start off the corner right away. You want to pay attention to these 3. Okay, so 1, 2 and 3 heading towards the area that you're going to crochet into. You're going to attach to the top one, so the middle one of the 5, and then you're gonna move forward with it. So you're just gonna attach it with a slip stitch, and then 1 single crochet in, chain 1, and then 1 single crochet into the same one. So you're going to do the next 2 of that. So there's gonna be a total of 3. Okay, so the next 2, which are in the trebles, like that. And then what you want to do is that you want to single crochet into the middle one here. Okay, so that's 4, and then the next 3 until you get to the middle one of this group of 5 is where you single crochet to. And I tell you things like that instead of counting. If you can see visual, it's a lot easier. Okay, so you did 3 of the trebles here, you did 1 in the middle, and then 3 of the trebles here, and then that's it. So right down here is where we're gonna play. So we're gonna jump right back down into this section right here, and what we're going to do is we're gonna start off with 4 crochet stitches, but they're not all the same. The first 2, because the distance is so far, is gonna be a treble. So we're just gonna do 2 trebles in a row. So 1 and 2. And because the distance is getting closer, we're going to do 2 doubles in a row. So double crochet like this. So 2 trebles, 2 doubles. So the corners from this point forward will always be the same chain count. It'll always be 3. So 1, 2, 3. So now we're gonna do the other side of the corner so we can turn the corner. So it'll be opposite to what you see. So it's 2 double crochet and then 2 trebles. So let's do that. In the same spot, 2 doubles, 1 and 2, and then 2 trebles like that. Okay, so you got 2 trebles. So now we're gonna move along a flat edge just like we had been here. So one of our corners is done. So what we're going to do is that we're going to go right to the middle one first. Okay, so jump all that, go right to the middle and single crochet. So you do that one plus 2 more of its friends with the trebles. Okay, just like you had on the other side. You're gonna do the middle, and then you'll do the next 3, which takes you to the middle treble of the group of 5. So 1, 2 and 3. So let's do another corner just to make sure you got it. The first 2 right here are going to be 2 trebles. So 1 and 2. The next 2 are doubles. So 2 double crochets next, because it's getting closer to the corner. And then to turn the corner, it'll always be chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then we start off opposite. So it's gonna be 2 doubles first, like so, and then 2 trebles to keep on moving around that corner. Okay, so then where do you join? The middle one of the next group of 5. And then you'll do that one plus 2 more. So that gives you your 3 plus the middle, and then the next 3, and then you'll do another corner like so. So from a distance you can see that these are starting to pucker outward like flowers, really quite nice, and then you'll see that you'll convert into a square after you're done this. So please continue to do this round. So when you finish that final corner, the final join is right in the first single crochet. So you jump all that like you had been before if it's any other corner. So there you go. So what I want you to do is that I want you to fasten that off. We have our beautiful square, and now we're gonna do one more layer of just double crochets going around, and then we're gonna start with the granny square look after that. We're almost done this hard part of this, and then the rest of it's kind of mindless. So let's continue with the next round. Fasten that off, bring your next color up. So let's begin our next color. This is gonna be a regular solid granny square look going all the way around. Right where you fastened off is right where you want to join the first one here. Okay, so it's the very first single crochet, so it's right there, and we're going to join on this yarn, and we're gonna chain 3. So slip stitch it first to join, and then chain 3, and that's your first double crochet. So every stitch across is going to be 1 double crochet, and then in the corners what you're going to do is that you're gonna apply 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, just like that. Okay, so you're gonna continue to go all the way to the first corner. Just checking my work as I go here. And I chose this accenting color to be really quite dominant, but you know what, your color schemes are up to you. You can follow exactly what the designers have placed for you if you wish, if that you're ever concerned that your creativity may be in question. Again, you only live once, you might as well try everything once. So let's continue. So you're gonna go right to the edge, okay? So right to the corner, and the next corner is gonna be 3 double crochet. So 1, 2 and 3, and then to turn the corner, remember it's like before, it's always gonna be chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then coming back in. Okay, so and then you'll put in 3 double crochets again into that same corner, and then you'll just move along to your next ones as you go, and so double crochet yourself all the way to the next corner. So please do that all the way around, and you'll see that it will turn out pretty great. So I'm coming all the way back around. This was my final corner, and then I'm just gonna double crochet myself all the way back to where I had started. Okay, so I didn't start off in a corner this time, but all the rest of now all the rounds will always start off in a corner to make it a lot easier for you. So you're just gonna go into the very last stitch, which is where I am currently now, and I'm just going to join it to the top of the beginning chain 3 like that. Okay, so if you're ever in question, remember that we started off in the first single crochet, and so then I was working in the trebles at that point. So we're gonna fasten off this color, and we're going to begin establishing the next row to be the granny square row and round, sorry, and then what's gonna happen is that all the rest then will follow suit after that. So I just gotta show you one more round to get you to transition over, and then just recap on what to do from that point on if you don't know how to do granny squares from this point. So let's carry on, and I'll see you here in just a moment. So now we're gonna transition ourselves into a granny square, but we got to get ourselves into a granny square kind of idea first, so it's like the traditional look. We're gonna start off with a slip knot. We're gonna start off in a corner, and the corners always are going to start the same way. They're always gonna be chaining 6. So go right into a corner, slip stitch to fasten, and then chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, that's 1 double crochet, and 4, 5, 6, that's your chain 3 to separate your corners. So you're gonna come in and finish the corner on the other side. So when you come back around, you have to finish this corner as well. So you're just gonna put in 3 double crochets. So that'll happen the same like it did before. So always in the corners will be 3 double crochets. Now when you go to start, you're gonna skip the first 2 double crochets. You're gonna go to the third, and you're gonna place in, sorry, you're gonna chain 1, sorry, first. Let me restart. You're going to chain 1 first, skip 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and go to the third for a double crochet, and you're gonna put 3 double crochets into there. So we're establishing those spacing of a traditional granny square. You only skip 2 the very first time out of from a corner. The rest of it you're gonna skip over 3. So to begin the next one, chain 1, skip 3, 1, 2, and 3, go to the fourth, and double crochet 3 times. Okay, so just remember when you start off from the corner, the first one is only ever gonna be skipping 2, the rest of it is always skipping 3. So chain 1 and skip 3. So 1, 2, 3, go to the fourth, 3 more double crochets there. Like so. Chain 1, skip 3, 1, 2, and 3, go to the fourth. Like so, and then chain 1, and then continue. So skip 3, so 1, 2, and 3, go to the fourth. And if you've done it right, when you go to look at this after I've got my 3 in here, there should only be 2 stitches in your way before you see another corner. So chain 1, and see 1 and 2, it's just like you skipped over 2 in the very beginning. So come and do that corner. So it's always gonna be 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, and then chain 3, and then again another 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and begin again. So chain 1, so skip 2, 1 and 2, go to the third, okay, 3 double crochet. And I want you to do that same idea going all the way around. It's a very easy round. So chain 1, and now that you've done the first one, you have to skip 3. So 1, 2, and 3, go to the fourth, and double crochet 3 times. Please do that all the way around, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. Now when you get all the way back around, you only completed 1 of the double crochets of the 3 that you need. So when you go into the final corner, so chain 1 first, in the final corner you're only gonna put in 2 double crochets. So 1 and 2, and you're going to join it to the top of the third one. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, to keep that gapping space looking good. So now you're just gonna fasten off that color, and you're going to bring back. So what you want to do now is you want to get yourself into a pattern of color. So what I did for myself is that I went from white cream to like mauve to like a purple to like the heather. So I just continued to do those as I go. And what I did for myself is that once I got to this point, I did the entire square. Now I finished it. So I just didn't stop and do every round of the same one in order to get them all to the size. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you just a recap on how to do a regular traditional granny now, and then when I'm gonna leave the rest for you, and then we're gonna come back later and I'm gonna show you how to join and do all that jazz stuff after. So let's continue along, and let's grab your next color and let's begin. So let's grab our next color. It's gonna be a traditional granny square now moving forward, creating a slip knot, and coming into the first corner. So attach it, okay, and remember it's always gonna be the same. You're gonna chain 6, which is a double crochet plus chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then coming back in now to do the other side of the corner. So there's always gonna be 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. So it's a traditional granny square at this point. So you're gonna chain 1 and jump to the next chain 1 space and put in 3 double crochets. So because you're doing it this way, the square will get constantly bigger as you go. So let's talk about the sizes as we go. So in the extra small to medium, you need a total of 18 inches to be your square size. So you'll have to measure out 18 inches once you get there. I would recommend you do 1 and use that as your template to make sure that the rest will match. And then if you're doing the large to I think 2 extra large, then it'll be a 19-inch square, and then you're doing 3 extra large to 5 extra large, you'll want to do a 20-inch square. So it's adjusting towards the sizes that are available on the pattern. If you like to be able to consider changing the sizes at all, if you take those numbers, because there's 4 squares that are sewn together, so it's if this one is 18 inch and you do another one that's 36 inches. So you can actually kind of wing things if you have to, and then just kind of fold things over your body if you want to customize the shaping for you, in order if you want to change it with something different. So it's actually quite an easy pattern. You just gotta, you know, be a little bit of a creative person. So chain 1, and then you're gonna hit the first corner here, and it's gonna be 3 double crochet, just like so, 3 chain and 3 double crochet. So for me it's mindless at this point. I know how to crochet. I've been doing granny squares all my life, I guess. And so then now I can just watch TV easily and being able to continue. So you're just gonna go all the way around with that. Each space gets 3 double crochets. You separate those with chain 1s, corners, 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, and now you're just gonna continue. So just go and look at the pattern, get to the size that you need, and then once you get that size, and make sure all 4 squares are done, and then we're gonna sew them together here on camera with you. I'll show you the invisible seam, and then we're gonna carry forward from this point in the project. So I'll see you there in just a moment. So welcome back. I now have my squares all done. I have all 4 done, and I'm ready to do the assembly period. So what I would suggest to you before you move on from this, go through your square and make sure that you take out all the loose ends as far as the tails out, so that you have a nice clean palette to be able to work with. You'll thank yourself later for just going through the process. It took me about 15 minutes just to make sure I got everything, and it's all ready to go. So make sure you get all 4 done and get rid of your loose ends, and let's move on to doing the assembly. So what we're going to be doing at this moment is that we're going to start the assembly period. So you have 4 squares. So what I would recommend is that you sew with an invisible seam, and I'll show how to do that. An invisible seam here to bring those 2 together, okay? And then I would do this one on this side, okay? And that's kind of what I've done off camera. And then what I would do is that you're gonna have 2 long panels then, is this whip stitch, or sorry, do your invisible seam with your whip stitch all the way down the middle, just like so. So all 4 will be together. Make sure when you're going to do this is that the right side, or the good side, is facing up so that you can do that invisible seam just perfectly. Then what you're going to do from that point is that you're going to take this square and fold it in half so that the fold is on the top. The arms of the model are coming out right here. You see the armhole and armhole. So what we have to do is that there's a measurement that we need to sew down onto. So we need to sew from here all the way here, leaving the opening right here. Okay, so let's take a little bit of a closer look at the main model photo, because I want to show you something. So when you're looking at the model's point of view, is that you're gonna see that there's a big ribbing section right here, and this is done after everything has been put together. So when you go and look at the other one that we had just looked at here, when you go to put everything together, you're gonna have an opening right here. This is where the model's body is sitting inside of. So this would be the neck area up here, and then this deeper part would be then the lower back, and so then the arms are going up there. So it's just the way that it's sewn, it gives it the shape of looking like the model, just like you see up here. So it's actually quite an easy thing to do. So without further ado, let me show you how to do an invisible seam, and then what I want you to do is that I want you to put all 4 squares together, and then I want you to fold it in half just like it shows here, and I want you to sew up both sides, and then when we come back after that I'm gonna show you how to go around this to make that beautiful cuffing that you see that she's wearing around the top of her neck. So I have 2 seams here that need to be put together, you can see here, and the front sides or the good sides or the right sides are facing up towards me. So this is what you're gonna look at if you were to look at the model. This is the side. So the other side would be what is inside the model. Okay, so it's the inside of it. So what you can do for an invisible seam, and unfortunately I've used black yarn because I wanted to be strategic about it, but for color wise, but what you want to do is use the same color of yarn that you've done attaching with. And what I want to do is that if you focus, there's always 2 strands that are on a stitch. Now the front strand is called the front loop and the back strand is called the back loop. If you use only the back loop and go all the way down, and then use the back loop of this one, okay, so the back loop of that one and go all the way down, you have an invisible seam that is literally flat. So you will never see any kind of ridges where you've done any kind of sewing. So there's 3 stitches on the corner if you remember. So going only into the back loop, what I want you to do is with the piece of string, I want you to create a slip knot on this side. So go into the back loop of the middle one of the 3, and then go into the back loop on the other side of the middle one of the 3 and go through. If you go through both loops, you are going to have a ridge, and it'll be very obvious when you're wearing this. So once you get it all the way down, just insert the needle through that loop and pull. That ties it onto each other, and you're left with a little bit of a tail, and you're gonna secure that in. So coming back to this side, go to the next stitch down, go in the back loop only, and then on the other side go in the next stitch down in the back loop only, and just go straight across. This is called the whip stitch. So you're going to match these as you go. So if you can, for example, see how the blacks are kind of opposite to each other? If they start doing this, you know that your stitching is off. So what you want to do is pay attention to making sure that you're going into the right stitches when you're going across from each other. And if you're going off in any way, for example, say you're starting to getting a little bit of helter-skelter going on, you can always adjust and just apply and skip a stitch in order to pull everything back together. It really will not be visible, as long as you don't have to do it too many times, I guess. So you're just gonna go across and all the way down your seam right to the end. Make sure that you have enough yarn in order to go all the way to do that seam. So when you get to the spaces, okay, don't go around a space, go just into the chain, again the back loop only, and continue that on the other side. So everything just matches each other as you go. So this loose end that I've been covering up as I've been going along, as soon as you get it in long enough, you can just safely trim that out, and you don't ever see your loose end. So you're just gonna go all the way down the project. So the last one was just in the chain, so this one here is a double crochet. I'm going into the back loop of that one, back loop, a double crochet, and keeping everything in balance. So this is how you're gonna want to be able to put your sides together when you're going to put everything together. And then after this point, you're going to want to fold this in half and sew up where the armholes are going to appear on it. And using that diagram in the pattern, you can get those measurements on how far you need to go up from the base of that when you go to do it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this with you, and at the end just fasten off with your needle so that you can stay in balance and keep everything together as you're going all the way down. Okay, so get that done, and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So all my seams are now done, all 4 squares are together. So with the wrong sides facing each other, so I have the good side facing up so I can access those back loops. This is the fold area up here, and down here is where it's gonna stay open. So what I want to do from the top, and this is for all sizes, is that you're going to measure 8 inches down from the top. So let's just do that now. 1, 2, right about there. Let me just do that again. Okay, so it's right about there. So what you want to do is that you kind of want to mark that with your with the stitch marker in order to secure that. And what I would do is just grab both sides and just count the number of spaces that you have to make sure that it is the right one on both sides. Nothing's worse than getting this far and you realize then you might be off. So let me just check. So I'm just going across from each other. So I'm going to count down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So that's where it is. So I'm just gonna put a stitch marker in there for now and that'll hold it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the other side and then using the same principle that I did before, just put them together and then use the back loops only to secure these and put sew the rest of it all the way down to the base here, leaving the bottom open. So the top should be folded shut and this should be where we're gonna go. Please do the other side of that and then just whip stitch along the base. So starting from the stitch marker that I've already labeled and I've already stitch markered the other side. I haven't sewn the other side. I'm gonna do that off camera. But I want to start at the stitch marker and work my way down to the base. Okay, so that's what my theory is today. It's not really a theory, that just makes sense. So again, going in the back loops only, so go in the back loop of the one side and going in the back loop of the other side at the exact same point. Use that stitch marker to kind of just help you out a little bit and then just pull it through. Using a slip knot on the other side, just whip it, just put it on through and therefore it'll lock that into position. Now using that straggler, what you want to do is just lay it down on top and then just keep on going like I showed you before, back loops to back loops like so, and you'll have a perfect invisible seam. And what I would do is get rid of that stitch marker now. You've already got it secured and then you can go all the way down. So please do that to this side and the other side and then we're gonna start the edging after that. So let's talk about her cuff and also the neck ridging. So they're two separate units. So where you've done that fold along the side where the opening is, this is where one of the cuffs is gonna go. Okay, it's gonna go around this edge here and it's gonna change depending on your size, I guess, that you're working on. The other part of the other section will go along the base. Now that you've sewn everything together along the sides, this is a complete circle all the way around the base. So what I want to cover first is that let's just talk about the cuff area. So in the cuff, what we're going to do is that it's the same for all sizes here and it's 56 single crochets all the way evenly around. So you're gonna take the cuff and you're gonna take the main color and you're just gonna single crochet in a circle around the cuff 56 single crochets. So it's got to be an even number in order to work because this is a ribbing kind of effect. So then what you're gonna do that from that point is that you're gonna have 4 more rounds then of being able to finish this cuff. Now the ribbing on the section where her neck is actually the base of the opening. So again, you're gonna go and chain all the way around. Now it's gonna change depending on the size of the square that you used, depending on your project. So it could be 256, 266 or 280. Again, single crochet all the way around and again you're just gonna pick up and it's 1 double crochet around each and then you're going to then start the ribbing effect. So what I'm gonna do is I'll show you what it looks like on the cuff and then you can apply the same thing to the other cuff and also just follow here on the ribbing and I'll show you on the cuff exactly what we need to do. So let's begin and I'm gonna use the main color purple and what you want to do is start off at the seam line of where it's been joined here and this is the top section up here. Okay, so I'm gonna do it where I did the sew all the way down. So I'm just gonna go right at the base and I'm going to attach it with the slip stitch and what I want to do is that I want to go all the way around this. Okay, so I'm gonna attach it, chain 1 and 1 single crochet in and I'm gonna go all the way around and I'm gonna count so that I get 56 of these single crochets all the way around. So in the gap space, go right in the gap space and then in the tops of the double crochets just go right into each one of the stitches as you go and make sure that you count out 56 as you go around because that'll make a difference because you're gonna go to the other side, make sure you get your 56 so that they both look even. If you just start guessing you may have one sleeve bigger than the other. So single crochet all the way around this, okay, and come back and I'll see you there in just a moment. So I just went around the armhole just like so. There is 56 and I'm just going to join it to the beginning single crochet. So that gets that all the way around, making sure that I do have my 56 so that I can continue to go. So let's go for round number 2. So round number 2, very straightforward. We're gonna chain up 3, which counts as a double crochet, and I want to put 1 double crochet in each one of the single crochets going all the way around, and this is setting up for the ribbing for the next round after that. So it's 1 double crochet in each going all the way around. So once you get all the way back around, just join it to the top of the beginning chain 3. So this is what it looks like. So I was looking ahead. So what happens on these cuffs is that there's 4 rows. So the single crochet, this row, and then 2 more. You're done. You do both cuffs like that. Now we're gonna do the same thing, very similar to it on the base of it. The difference is that the base we're gonna go and we're gonna do the ribbing, and so that it's 6 inches wide when it comes out, so we don't just stop it 4 rounds as we go. That's what the major difference is between the two. So let's move on to round number 3, where we're gonna establish doing some ribs. So we're going to now establish doing some ribs. We're gonna chain 2, which doesn't count as anything, it's more of a builder, and we're gonna start off and we're gonna do double crochet in the front post. So just look straight on down and you're gonna go wrap the hook and go in through the side of the post and out the other side and pull through, and then pull through 2 and 2. That's a front post double crochet. Then you go to the next one. That's a back post. So you wrap it, you come in from the back, go forward and back out, pull through, and then finish it off as normal. The next one is a front post double crochet. So you just go in through the front, and then the back posts go in from the back. And you're gonna continue to do that same thing opposite to each other all the way around for round number 3. And then we just have one more round to do on the cuffs, and then we just move on to the base area. So continue to do that all the way around. So as you get all the way back around, the last one is a back post double crochet, because the first one was the front post. So that means that we're done right, and then we're just gonna join to the top of the beginning. So in round number 4, we're going to maintain exactly what is already there. So if it's in the front post now, it's gonna stay in the front post after that. So chain 2, if it's a front post, make it a front post still again, and that continues the ribs. And you're gonna do that in the base section as well when you get ready to do the whole main going all the way around. So this is kind of how you maintain the ribs. This is the kind of look that you see that is behind the model's neck as she's sitting in the chair, and you can see that the ribs are just gonna carry forward like that. So this is the final round for this cuff. You're gonna do the other cuff, and then I'm gonna leave you to do the base. The base, again, you're just gonna trace it with single crochet. Do exactly what you see that you're doing here with the cuffs. The only difference is that you're going to make these 6 inches, so that it's gonna be a massive section coming out in order to create that really great look that is behind her neck. So I'm gonna leave the rest for you in order to do this one, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep working on this off camera, and then I'll come back at the end and I'll show you my example of my work.